reason is going to... See, everybody knows the good people are less and the bad people are more. Everybody knows. But why? What is the reason behind being good? That Bhashyakara is going to explain, because it is the Shabda Pramana that makes you a good person, because you relate life to the truth. Goodness is not a temperament. It is not born of temperament. Goodness, when it takes root, you call it temperament. Temperamentally good. Is by nature good. But goodness, Devatvam, where from does it come? Devatvam is not something that we inherit. Goodness you don't inherit. Like the love for happiness you don't inherit. These are all janma janmantara. We don't inherit it. Certain physical traits can be inherited. Physical. Generally these days it is the bimaris which are inherited. Diabetes, parents have diabetes, we inherit. Baki sab chhod denge, that will... Diabetes will be inherited. Heart problem is inherited. Psychotic problem is inherited. Anger is inherited. All problems are inherited. Good things are all left out. Physical, there are certain physical details which are a matter of inheritance. The love for happiness, is it inherited? Similarly, goodness is not inherited. Love for music, these are all, you inherit yourself, you inherit from your own previous life. You see, you can't inherit it. You may imbibe what others' thoughts, but once you imbibe, then they become your thoughts anyway. Then afterwards, you inherit your own. Therefore, goodness, where from does one get goodness? And that is explained by Bhashyakara. What makes the difference between goodness and badness is Shabda Pramana. If you go by only Pratyaksha and Anumana, you will go only, your value will be only for objects. If you take into account Shabda Pramana, then you have value for values plus the value for moksha. That seeing, in life seeing what the eyes can't see makes you a good person. Seeing what the senses can't see. Seeing what the senses can't see. Seeing what your sense perception based logic can't see. In other words, seeing what the senses can't see makes you a good person. Yes. Seeing what the senses can't see. The punya is something that the senses can't see. Rebirth is something which the senses can't see. The source of the universe is something that the senses can't see. The problem adhyasa is something that the senses can't see. The actual problem behind the whole struggle is something which the senses can't see. Whereas you see. And that is possible only when you have value for Shabda Purana Shastra. That is why a person who follows Veda and also has value for it, the one who studies Veda need not be a good person, but the one who has value for what he studies. The one who absorbs it, he is really a Devata. He is a Devata. Like a person who gives advices need not follow his own advices. But if he values his advices, he would definitely follow. Supposing he dishes out advices for making money, giving advices. Consultation. But himself has his own, he gives, how to live a very peaceful married life. Okay? Giving advice to the wife and husband. There are some consultations. Supposing if the parents, if the couple have a problem, they go to consultant. And he will say, he gives advices. And then you ask him, do you live alone? No, मैंने तो शादी किया था, लेकिन उसके बाद वो doesn't work, ji. But if you really value the advices that you are giving to others, you will definitely follow. Commercializing advices is different from valuing advices. A commercial value of an advice is different from the spiritual value of an advice. But for me it is very important. The commercial value of teaching Vedanta is different from the value of Vedanta, the spiritual value. What is the commercial value? एक आधा श्लोक पढ़ाओ, थोड़ा दक्षिणा ले लो, जाओ, अपना घर बसाओ, पैसा इकट्ठा करो, घर बसाओ. That is this commercial value. But if a person has the spiritual value of Vedanta, it's a different thing. Then he will use it for moksha, he will use it for enlightenment. Thus, what makes the difference between a good person, a devata and an asura is Shabda Pramana. So he is going to say that. Even Bhagavan, even before Bhagavan says, I am saying it so that I get one more opportunity to talk about it. It is such a beautiful thing. That is why don't hate scripture. Love it. Don't hate scripture. Don't say it is a Brahmanic literature. It's all nonsense. There is no such a thing called Brahmanic literature now. I can refute anybody under this sun. Literature doesn't belong to a caste. Literature pertains to the truth. That the law of gravitation belongs to which caste, ji? Supposing the law of gravitation belonged only to the Westerners, not to Easterners, then even the Easterners go up, should not come down. If they fall from the 7th floor, they should not fall down. Because the gravitation belongs only to the Occident. ऐसा होता है, meaningless. इनको समझ भोले लोग हैं जी, the society is a bhola. You can only take them for a ride as long as they remain bhola. And the only way to rule the world is keep them bholas. And therefore that is why the only bhola nath helps the bholas. The clever people take them for a ride. Yes. Vedanta doesn't belong to Brahmanas or Kshatriyas or anyway, it's all idiotic. It is a literature that pertains to the truth. Yes. It's a literature that pertains to causation. Actions have results, is causation. It's a literature that pertains, like science doesn't belong to any varna. It's knowledge, ji. Therefore, don't hate Veda, own it up, it is yours. It belongs to everybody. It belongs to devatas, it belongs to even asuras. Even asuras have to study Veda to reform. Ravana has to study Veda to reform. He has to accept Shabda Pramanam. Yes. Ravana was a Brahmana. I am sure he must have been repeating Gayatri. थोड़ा इतना तो मालूम होगा. वेदांत वगैरह I don't think. एक आधा बार सुना होगा, वो छोड़ो. But then it is not merely studying, valuing, appreciating my God, its glory. Therefore, thus the goodness is not inherited, nor is it a trait. goodness evolves from your appreciation of Shabda Pramana. Goodness evolves out of your appreciation of the law of karma, and the real problem, all that the Shabda Pramana talks, when you are exposed to your goodness, man changes through exposure to the scripture. I see no other way. Even when you offer a prayer, sir, I say prayer reforms, what does it mean? Shabda Pramana, prayer also comes within. Because prayer means Ishvara. Ishvara means law of karma. All these things are they seen by the eyes? Neither you see. Even the law of karma beyond this life is not seen by the eyes. You see law of karma inside this life. Drishtaphalam is seen. When you kill a man, he dies. That you see. But that it will create papa is not seen. But it will bring its result even beyond its life. The law of causation is not only confined to this life, it goes beyond. In fact, the law of causation continues. You have to abide by the law of causation until you get liberated. We continue to live in the realm of causation until, of course, the law of causation also is within the realm of adhyasa. That is a different matter. But man, jiva, has to continue to live within the realm of causation until he is liberated. All these things, where does one get? Only through Shabda Pramana. Exposure to the scripture is not an ordinary gift. Don't think he is a very non-modern because he is studying Gita. You don't know. It is an extraordinary gift. The love for scripture is it's a God-given gift. To be able to study it is God's gift. Of course, to continue to study until one understands is a God's gift. Baki sab kya hai? Even if we become a billionaire, we think it's God's gift. What is that gift? Great looks and you become Mr. or Mrs. Universe. What gift it is? And when Bhagavan, in fact, it is a curse in disguise. Kabhi blessing in disguise hota hai. Good looks also is a curse in disguise. Yes. Who knows? The real blessing is. Okay, ji. Before you get bored, let me move. Let me not take the risk. अगले क्लास में आप लोग आना बंद ही करें. द्वयाः द्विप्रकाराः. Two kinds means द्विप्रकाराः, two kinds. हा इति पूर्ववृत्त अवद्योतकः निपातः. That ha is a particle. Avadyotakah highlighting that it really happened. It is like, one indeed, that indeed means actually happened. Within the creation, this is something that really happened. That really happened in the creation. Vartamana Prajapatehe Purvajanmani. The creator of the universe during his previous creation, during the previous creation. There is something called, yesterday, the same universe as I see today is the present creation. The same universe as I saw yesterday is called previous creation. Aisa koi isme nothing mystical. This is the present creation. The same thing as seen yesterday was previous creation. And now, according to the Shastra, the present creation includes all these yugas. Today also is within the present creation. Yesterday also is in present creation. This Kali Yuga is within present creation. All the three yugas are within present creation. Like this, patani kitna, then you have to go into Vedic mathematics to find out. But you can understand this much. After many yugas, Many yugas fall within the present creation. That means even before these many yugas, there were many yugas, the previous creation. And before that previous creation, there was another previous creation, Rama, forever, that means called Anadi. People interpret Anadi only, 5,000 years back. What is 5,000 years? Kuch bhi nahi hai. The very idea of Anaditvam is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing thought. It is really Anadi. In fact, the moment you understand what is beginningless, time ends. Time ends. It's like, think of the boundaries of the space. Can you entertain a thought of the boundaries of the space? Because there are no boundaries of the thought, the process of thinking about it resolves. Thinking is made manifest only when you think about what is available. When you try to think of what is not available, then the thought resolves. Yes. You become space free. The more you think of the boundaries of space, you become space free. The more you think of the beginning of time, thought resolves. And therefore, just as there is present creation, there was previous creation. At that time, Prajapati had two kinds of. That means in every creation, once we say previous creation, which previous creation? That means throughout. That means every time in the creation, Prajapati has two sons. In Kali Yuga, there are two kinds of sons. Dwapara Yuga, two kinds of sons. Dwapara Yuga mein to hai. Pandavas are only 5. Kauravas are many, naturally. And Treta Yuga mein there are two kinds, good and bad people. But there is good thinking and bad thinking. In Satya Yuga also good thing, bad thing. Why? Because where thinking is possible, there both right and wrong are possible. It's a very, very beautiful thing. It's a great thing. You cannot, either you are free from thought or you are shuttling between right and wrong. Either you are free from thinking, either you are free from samsara, either you are free from thought, or you are shuttling between, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. It is not that some people are good and some people are bad. Some thoughts are good, some thoughts are bad. Jiva, in his love for happiness, in his struggle for survival, in his struggle for happiness, sometimes he follows what is convenient, sometimes he follows what is valuable. I have impulses, sometimes I follow impulse, sometimes I follow reason. In every mind both are manifest. One is swabhavikam, the other is what the Shastra says, reason. I don't have to be exposed to something to have impulses. Impulses simply happen in me. But in order to get some capacity to control the impulses, I have to be exposed to Shastra, Shabda Pramana. Thus, that means now in every creation we have two kinds of thoughts, Deva and Asura. Let me use the language, you can pick up this language. Asuri pravritti, Daivi pravritti. Pravritti means, swabhavika, thinking. That thinking is called pravritti. इनका प्रवृत्ति ठीक नहीं है. कहते हैं ना, इनका प्रवृत्ति ठीक नहीं. इनका प्रवृत्ति ठीक नहीं. If we are from Muslim influenced area, then you say इनकी दिमाग ठीक नहीं है ना? If you have influence of Sanskrit, then we say प्रवृत्ति ठीक नहीं है. दैवी प्रवृत्ति की, आसुरी प्रवृत्ति की. Pick up this terminology. Pravritti means the line of thinking, the line of action is all called pravritti. Daivi pravritti, asuri pravritti. Vartamana prajapatehe purvajanmani yad vrittam tad avadhyotayati ha shabdena. Up to that, this word ha only shows that it actually happened in the previous srishti. The creator of the previous creation had two sons, two kinds of sons. They are called Prajapatyaha. They are the sons of Prajapati, God's sons. Prajapatehe vritta janma avasthasya apatyani prajapatyaha. Prajapatyas are those which are the sons of Prajapati, the creator of the previous janma. Like Dasharathi means the son of Dasharatha, Prajapatya means the sons of Prajapati. The sons of Prajapati are called Prajapatya. Like Bharatiya, the citizens of Bharat are called Bharatiya. The son of Kunti is called Kaunteya. The children of Kuru Desha are called Kaurava. The children of Dhritarashtra are called Dhartarashtraha. This is what is called the Tathita, the abstract noun. Prajapatehe vritta janma avasthasya apatyan. Apatya means santana. Apatya means progeny. The progeny of Prajapati are called Prajapatya. Kete, who are those sons? Devascha Asurascha. Devas and Asuras. Tasyaiva Prajapatehe pranaha vagadaya. Very beautiful. Don't imagine Devas as individuals, Asuras as individuals. Prajapati's own senses, his own eyes, his own ears, his own speech. In fact, I am going to interpret it, all jivas. Because without identification with the senses, you don't become a jiva. Prajapati as the source of everything is the creator. The same Prajapati identified with his own creation, he becomes a jiva. Minus identification, Prajapati is, it is Prajapati. As is, it is Prajapati. The same is as identified. The same, like you see, I'll give you, you must really understand this. You know, water actually is. But just is, water simply by, even though it exists, it merely is, the same water which merely is, the water which is silently is, can think that I am a wave. It has become a thinker. The is has become a thinker. As a thinker it is a wave. I am a wave is a thinker. And as water it is. That means what? The one who thinks is none other than the one who is. But the thinking identity doesn't touch the peaceful, the is identity. Are you able to follow? It's all Vedantaji, Hare Rama. You are touching the truth. Otherwise we think, the is different from the thinker. The thinker is not other than the is. Therefore Prajapati They thought that I am the wave is the son of the water. That is. Are you able to follow? That means the Jiva is the son of Ishvara, Prajapati. Who is Prajapati? The truth that is. And who is his son? Identified with the senses. That is why he said pranaha vagadaya. Pranaha means the faculties, vagadaya. But actually it is not the prana that is good or bad. It's not the faculties that are good or bad. The one who is identified with the faculties alone can think good or bad. My eyes can't be good or bad, it's a pramana. Eyes, ears can't be good or bad. No faculty, memory cannot be good or bad, morally good or bad. The one who is identified with them can become good or bad. Can become good and bad means can think good, can think bad. ये समझना चाहिए. Parameshwara, Prajapati himself cannot be good or bad. I'm repeating it. Prajapati truth itself cannot be both good or bad, cannot be good or bad. His creation also cannot be good or bad. But where is good and bad? The one who identifies with the creation, he becomes an individual. In that realm of identification, he is the thinking good or bad. Like, I can give you one more example. This is a house. Before you buy the house and enter it, you can't think good or bad. You have no likes or dislikes about the house because you are not even sure whether you are going to buy it or not. But once you buy it and enter it, you have ragadveshas. ये मेरा है, इसको कोई टच नहीं करना, यहाँ पर मेरा बेडरूम होगा, वहाँ पर होगा, यहाँ पर होगा. Its whole house is so beautiful. But what about your cook and driver? उनके लिए अलग कुछ बना दो. ये बिल्डिंग में नहीं है, कुछ शाक दे दो, कुछ वगैरह. You think so differently, full of likes and dislikes. Once you enter it, identify with it. Before you identify, no likes and dislikes. Nor the house can think likes and dislikes. So where is the realm of then? Where is the realm of the likes and dislikes? Adhyasa. Adhyasa is the realm of likes and dislikes. Where there is confusion, there is impurity. Impurity is born of, moral impurity is born of the dharmic and adharmic impurity. The impurity as thought of by the people is something that is the result of confusion about the truth. Confusion about the truth is different from moral purity and impurity. This moral impurity is the result of the confusion. And confusion between what and what? Confusion between what is and what is created. Confusion between the eternal and the non-eternal. Katham punaha tesham devasuratvam, it is said. Katham punaha, how? Tesham, these senses, Prajapati's own senses, how can they be? Devasuratvam, how can the same sense organs be devas, or how can they be called asuras? Uchyate, the answer is given. Shastra janita jnana karma bhavitaha dyotana devaha bhavanti. Very beautiful. An individual exposed to the Shastram uses his senses for the right actions. When he uses his senses, when he uses his faculties, when he uses his pranas for dharma and moksha, That's all the right. When he uses, being exposed to Shastram, when he uses his pranas, his faculties for dharma or moksha, then they become devaha. Why? Dyotana, they become brilliant. Goodness and brilliance go together. Exposure to the Shruti helps you to live your life either for dharma or for moksha. And when you avoid the wrong, you avoid the darkness in life. When you follow the right, you are only imbibing the light. The right gives you light. The wrong gives one darkness. Therefore, a devata is effulgent. A devata is considered to be effulgent. Therefore, he is called Devaha. Jyotanat Devaha Bhavanti. Okay. What is it that makes a person Devata? Exposure to Shabda Pramana, Veda. Exposure to, let me call it a Shabda Pramana. Any literature that talks about Dharma and Moksha, that talks about the eternity of the self, that talks about the law of karma, that talks about the punya papa, that talks about the truth, is Shabda Pramana. Need not be in Sanskrit, it can be in any language, but if it talks, Shabda Pramana. Shabda Pramana is Shabda Pramana. But under this sun there is no, it is the theme that makes it Shabda Pramana. It is not the Shabda that makes it Shabda Pramana. It is the theme that makes it Shabda. It is the theme that makes it Pramana. It is not the look of the eye that makes it eye, but that the theme of the eye, that it is able to see, makes it an eye. The look of an eye doesn't make it an eye, but its capacity to see makes it an eye. It is not the sacredness of the book that makes it a pramana. It is not merely the shlokas, that it should have a vision of the truth. The vision that it has of the truth, of the law of karma, that makes it pramana. And the exposure to the pramana definitely makes a person devata. Therefore, shastra janita jnana karma bhavitaha. Let me explain the literal meaning. Shastra janita jnana karma bhavitaha. Influenced by the information given by the Shastram. The mind influenced by the information given by the Shastram. Bhavitaha. Jyotana deva bhavanti. Te eva, the same senses, the same jivas. Swabhavika pratyaksha anumana janita. Drishta prayojana karma jnana bhavitaha asuraha. Understand this phrase. If a person goes only by his senses and the sense organs based logic, and if he has no exposure to the Shastram, then he would only go by his value for the objects. Then he will not think about the law of karma. He will not think about the rebirth. He will not think about the continuity of the self, the soul. If there is no if he doesn't think in terms of the continuity of the soul, and then he will think, once I die, I am gone for good. So without thinking of the continuity of the soul, then there is no law of karma. Then he doesn't think in terms of law of karma. It is very important, Ji. If a person doesn't think about the continuity, the rebirth, then he doesn't think about the law of karma. And when he doesn't think about the law of karma, then he doesn't have good and bad. The sense of good and bad is a sense that grows not only related to the survival now, but survival in future. Therefore, without exposure to the Shruti, one can't know how the self has continuity. And without the exposure to the Shastra, one doesn't know what is the law of karma. Therefore, he doesn't know dharma and dharma. Therefore, he will only go by what is convenient. And when he goes by what is only convenient, then he is called asuraha. Teyeva swabhavika pratyaksha anumana janita drishta prayojana karma jnana bhavitaha asura. Influenced by the short-term results, the seen, the visible results, the visible material results. They are influenced by the short-term visible material results. And in order to achieve those visible short-term results, they don't mind following dharma if it suits them, and they don't mind following adharma if it suits them. It's very simple thing. That's called convenience. Sometimes, there are people who look to be good, but they may not be intrinsically good. Maybe it is suiting them to be good at that time.
Strategy.
Kind of a strategy, yes. It's just suiting them to be good. A person who is intrinsically good is good no matter what the situation is. But a person who is strategically good is good only because it suits them. It's बहुत बड़ी बात है जी. You cannot be happy if you only move from strategy to strategy. Those who try to live life as a chess, those who look upon life as a game of chess will become miserable one day. Yes, I'm telling you, very, very right. It is better that I say, because right from the beginning I have been thinking about this thing. Good, use your intelligence to be correct. Don't use your intelligence to be strategic. Doesn't work. Because Bhagavan definitely helps if we are good. All Ravana's strategies did not help him. वो होता नहीं. Strategy can't exist in front of tapas. Rama was a tapasvi. Lakshmana was a tapasvi. Whereas Ravana was a strategist. Don't work. Doesn't work. May bring short-term rewards, but in time will all be gone. That is the difference between asura. A person who looks to be good without being good is also an asura, please. And one who is really good is a great person. You can just feel very comfortable with him. You don't have to fear him, not to worry at all. He will not cheat you. He will never. Even if you forget really a bag full of gold coins in his house, he will keep it safe and will give you a ring, call you back and hand it over. Ye hamara nahi. Na mama, ye hamara nahi. That is why you say, Indra is Vaha, na mama. You say, hey Bhagavan, this is for you and this is not mine. Ye aapka hai. आपका ही आपको है. ना मामा. जो ना मामा है वो आपका है. Therefore, to be a good person is not easy. कभी to, some etiquettes following, somebody comes and gives a smile and shakes your hand and then say, please come and sometimes come and have a cup of coffee with me. Everything is such a nice person. They say, kuch nahi. These are all goody people, not good people. Are you able to follow? Yes, these things only I can say it. Do you know why? I don't look for goody things in this world. I love to speak the truth. Yes. Hamara Anand usi mein hai. It is always better to. What is it called, that English phrase? Taking the rabbit out of. The rabbit is out of. Giving the secrets out. Giving the secrets. Cat is out. Cat is out of the bag. Cat is out. To get the cat out of the bag. You know what it means? Give the secrets out. Many people live a bhola life. Respect a person who is gentlemanly, etc., but don't go again, don't think, oh, it's great. कुछ नहीं है. A good person कहाँ मिलेंगे? सा महात्मा सुदुर्लभा भगवान says. Very difficult to come across. कहाँ मिलेंगे जी आपको? Therefore, don't look for a good man. Try to be a good person. Ultimately, you will discover in yourself. पूरा दुनिया घूम के ultimately you will discover in yourself. You try to be a good person. That's much more enjoyable than in being good person. You get more happiness than finding a good person. क्या मिलेगा? Everybody wants to know, I want to come across a great person. Why? Headache. You be a great person. I want to come across a Brahmajnani. You study Shastram and you find the truth. I want to come across. When Bhagavan Krishna says, I like that. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That means what? Don't go hunting for a Mahatma. Headache. You be. The joy of speaking truth, the joy of being a good person, you can't, even if you come across a good person, his joy can you get? Even if you come across a good man, you don't get his joy. You can get the joy of goodness only when you have it. Therefore, the struggle should be, the search should be yourself. I should be good, I should be truthful, I should be reflective, I should understand the truth, rather than analyze people in headache. Mind your own, they say business now, mind your own pursuit. Mind your own pursuit. Okay, ji, this is over. Then te eva swabhavika pratyaksha anumana janita drishta prayojana karma jnana bhavitaha asuraha. Great phrase, ji, Bhashikaras. I know you don't know Sanskrit. Iska anandam हमको मालूम है. स्वेषु एव असुषु रमणात् सुरेभ्यो वा देवेभ्यः अन्यत्वात्. An asura is called asura because, for one reason, because they are other than sura. Because they are other than sura, they are called asura. And the other reason why they are asura, they revel in their senses. They indulge in their senses. Asushu means, praneshu, senses. Asu means prana, senses. Gatasun, agatasunschana. Asu means, gatasu means gata prana. Gata prana means dead and they're not dead. So why is called asura? Asu means senses. Ra means ramanam, means reveling, indulging. Those who revel in sense pleasures are called asura. This is one meaning of asura. The second meaning of asura is unlike sura. Bas itna hi hai. He is unlike sura. So he is asura. He is unlike, it is unlike dharma, therefore it is adharma. I say. Asura must be understood in these two ways. Asura is asuraha because he is unlike sura. Asura is called asura because he is indulging in. Whoever indulges in senses, he has no scope to follow right values. It's very difficult. Because if sense indulgence becomes a very compulsive thing, if the love is to indulge in the sense objects, then what happens is you need more and more objects. You need to achieve more and more objects. And when you, then for which really then you have to achieve them somehow or other, by means fair or unfair, then you are subject to flout dharma. When? Suppose like a person who is a drug addict. You see, so far, until he became a drug addict, he was not stealing money from his own parents' pockets, etc. But once he becomes a drug addict, then he is prompted to steal. That means all adharma is the result of sense indulgence, I'm telling you. A person who drinks imported liquor, the sense indulgence prompts you to become corrupt. Supposing you live a very correct life, means simple life, not indulgent life. You eat simple food, live a simple lifestyle, then you don't require so much of money. When you don't require so much of money, you don't require so much of wealth, then it becomes easier for you to follow dharma. I think simplicity of living also helps you to follow dharma. Simplicity of life, I think so. Supposing a person starts drinking, imported alcohol, then he needs money for that. Then he is prompted to flout dharma. Yes. That is why sattvic life helps you in so many ways. Simple life helps you in so many ways. It can not only keep you on the lines of dharma, but it also keeps you healthy. Because self-indulgence not only can make you flout dharma, it can even really hurt your health. It can affect your health, it can harm your health, indulgence. That is why they are called Vishaya, objects. Vishaya means, let me give this a very beautiful meaning. One is Visha. Visha is something, it hurts, it harms you when you eat it. Vishaya is something, you don't have to eat it. The very sight of it can harm you, yes. But darshan se hi problem ho jayega. And when you really enjoy the objects, definitely, then you get attracted to the same objects again and again and again. Therefore, the best thing is to live a simple life. A simple life can keep you on the lines of dharma. And a simple life can keep you also in good health. Then you become a devata really. Devata means what? You are a peaceful person. Supposing you have huge money and day long drinking, eating, etc. I tell you, you are neither peaceful, nor good, nor healthy. Really, you lose your health, you lose your mental peace, and you lose your values. All the three things will be gone. A life of overindulgence costs you your health, number one. Costs you your mental peace, number two. Costs you your values, dharma. Dharma bhi khatam ho jati hai. You lose your present, you lose your future also. समझ में आ रहा है? बहुत समझ गया स्वामी जी, अब आगे चलो. ओके जी. यस्माच्च, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. दृष्ट प्रयोजन ज्ञान कर्म भाविताः असुराः. Yasmacha, because Drishta prayojana jnana karma bhavitaha asura. Because the asuras are those who are influenced by the short-term results. They are attracted by the short-term results. Or they are attracted by the visible results. They are attracted by the results that they can enjoy in this life. They don't think in terms of the continuity of life. Drishta prayojana jnana karma bhavitaha asuraha tataha, therefore, tasmat kaniyasaha kaniyamsaha eva kaniyasaha swarthyani vriddhihi kaniyamsaha alpaha eva devaha. Asuras are those who go by the short-term result, and mostly people go by short-term results, and therefore the devatas are less in number. See, this is how why the devatas are less in number? Because those who go by the short-term results become asuras, and they are definitely no. Those who take into account the continuity of life, those who take into account the law of karma, those who take into account the eternity of the soul are very few. Kitne log hain? Not many. And therefore, naturally, the devatas are fewer in number. Devatas means, please understand, the right thinking people are very few in number. Pandavas are only 5, the Kauravas were so many. Amazing, ji. Even Vedavyasa felt tired of giving a list of all the Kauravas. We hear only 2 Kauravas. One is Duryodhana, the other is Dushyasana. Baki kaun hai ji? Aapko malum hai list? Mujhe to malum. Somebody asked me, who is the 3rd Kaurava? Therefore, right thinking person means is not morally right thinking. The one who thinks true to the truth. I have covered this topic. A right thinking person is not merely the one who is morally right, but also thinking correct. The one who understands life doesn't begin here and end here. Life has continuity. The law doesn't end in this life. The law continues. I continue to be there until the truth is understood. The world doesn't end here. The world is there much more. The one who thinks correctly, true to the nature of the truth, he is called a right thinking person. Not merely a good Samaritan. Even a good Samaritan, maybe to an extent he had some adrishta, means devotion to God and anything. But in Indian context, a right thinking person means who understands the rebirth. The one who doesn't accept rebirth, he can never be right thinking. Not to accept the rebirth means not to accept the law of karma. Not to accept because the law of karma doesn't end with the achievement of a result. Just see, I am going to give you a logic thing. Independently think. Going by a certain theology, I do good deeds here and go to heaven. Okay? Heaven also is a realm of perception. That is within the creation. How can the law of karma culminate inside the creation? It functions in the creation, but it can't culminate in the creation. Kya baat hai ji? The law of karma functions on earth and heaven. It cannot culminate. How can you say life is over once I reach heaven? How can I say I am liberated? Why? Because the law of karma is not over. It is only when I see the source of the creation, the law of karma resolves. Where the universe is, where the universe resolves. The truth to which the universe is traced, to that very truth the law of karma has to be traced. And when it is traced to its own truth, then it is gone. It is not going to be there. When you trace the dream to the waking, it's gone. When you trace the waking to the waker, it is gone. When you trace the thought to the thinker, it is gone. If I don't trace the thought to the thinker and I keep looking at the thought, it remains. I am really suffering the thought. Instead of suffering the thought, trace it to truth. Develop the desire to find the root of things. Develop the desire to find the root of things. And the root is something that is not visible to the eyes, like a tree, The branch is visible, the root, for which you have to do the digging. Meaning what? Vichar karna padta hai. Urdhva moolam adha shaka. Very beautiful. This universe is all branch, and it is inside time and space. Adaha hai, adaha, inferior, so below hai. Urdhva moolam, but the root of this universe is above time. Urdhva means the above time, the above space, the above form, the above thought. The universe is in the above. The universe is, and the root is not above. They make ulta, A tree ko, root ko paint karte hain. Just imagine, we have great interpretations. A tree is painted with the root exposed, the branch. It's almost like a tree in America today. The uprooted trees, the root above. But there is nothing wrong in all those things, it's okay. But I would like to say, when Bhagavan Krishna says the root of the universe is Urdhvam, it doesn't mean the root of the universe above. He means the root of the universe is in the above. The above. What is above time is the root of the universe. What is above space is beyond space, is the root of the universe. When I trace the universe to its source, that not only the universe gets really resolved, even the law of karma gets resolved. There I am liberated. Where I get liberated from the law of karma, I get liberated. Just by going to heaven. Therefore, you may be a good Samaritan, meaning you may be a good human being, but still it's not merely right thinking. That's nothing. You don't become a devata. To be a devata means I should not only be a good person, but also think right. Okay. Asuraha tadaha tasmat kaniyasaha kaniyamsaha eva kaniyasaha swarte anivriddhihi. There is a small grammatical point. There is no difference between kaniyasaha and kaniyasaha. Meaning what? Small in number. Eva devaha. Jayasaha. Whereas more in number. Jayasaha means more in number. Asuraha. Asuras are huge in number, devas are small in number, very few in number. They are very, very few in number. Devas are very few in number. Whenever we say very few, we say like this. Means what? Handful. Aur kya ji? Just a handful. That is why Pandavas were only handful. Pancha Pandava. Why asuras are more in number? I am concluding, don't worry. Swabhavikihi. Very beautiful. I want you to give your attention. Maybe tomorrow when you are less tired you can see. This impulse is something, swabhaviki, you find yourself with. It's very tempting. Anger becomes irresistible. Greed becomes irresistible. Jealousy becomes irresistible. Impulses become very irresistible. You have to struggle them to silence them. It's not easy. Swabhavikihi karmajnana pravritti. This impulsive thinking, matara, is stronger. Impulsive thinking is stronger. Why? Because it's effortlessly coming. What happens effortlessly, it's just stronger. Pranana for all the jivas. The impulsive thinking of any jiva is stronger. The impulsive thinking of any jiva is stronger. Whereas Shastra Janitayaha Karma Jnana Pravrittehe, than the knowledge you receive from the scripture. Impulses are stronger than reason. Shastra Janitayaha Karma Jnana Pravrittehe. The kind of thinking that you imbibe from the scripture, in comparison to the thinking that you receive from the scripture, in comparison to that thinking, impulsive thinking is stronger. Ultimately, it will be defeated, but to begin with, it is strong. Impulsive thinking is stronger than right thinking. Why? Because impulses come easily. Right thinking doesn't come easily. I have to work hard for it. Karma jnana pravritti. Drishta prayojanatvat. Why is impulsive thinking stronger? Because impulsive thinking always takes into consideration only the short term, the visible results. Immediate pleasures, immediate profit, immediate pleasure is the consideration of a person who has impulsive thinking. Impulses manifest only for pleasures. Impulsive thinking is stronger than right thinking. What is right thinking? What we imbibe from the scripture. And without exposure to the scripture, there is no such a thing called right thinking, please. You may become a little morally right, that's nothing great about it. Hitherto you have been telling lies, now you have started telling the truth, thoda bahut. Pahle kahte the, kuch abhi kuch kahte hain. As long as, until it suits you, will. Nothing. Without exposure to the scripture, you can't think rightly. Anyway, and therefore, this is the reason why devatas are more in number and asuras are less in number. Asuras are more in number, devatas are less in number. Hey Rama, if devata. Now we are concluding, you don't worry. In Satyuga में कौन ज्यादा थे? देवता ज्यादा थे? कभी नहीं होता है देवता. Devatas are never in majority. It is always the asuras. Tell you one thing. बस हो गया. I'm giving you the last logic. Rama Bhagavan Vishnu had avatar. How many ji? How many avataras? 10 avataras, including Buddha. I think, including Kalki, 10 avatars. Buddha is 11th. Then we don't conclude. Buddha. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. If in Krita Yuga, if all were devatas, why should Bhagavan Vishnu take avatar? Can you shake my logic? Why should Bhagavan Vishnu take avatara in Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, more number of times? In 3 yugas, Bhagavan took avatara 9 times. Only one in Kali Yuga. That means which yuga is better? वो भी अभी हुआ नहीं है. We are going through the best time, ji. It is all for a thinking person. There are never times when you have more devatas and less asuras. It is always swabhavika thing. People are mostly impulsive. Very few are the right thinking. Very few are the sages. The rest, the majority of them are all impulsive. I don't want to call them sinners or anything. Impulsive. Okay. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat, Purnamudachyate, Purnasya, Purnamadaja, Purnameva, Vudishyate. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Thank you.